The Portland Trailblazers are up for sale. The organization announcing today, wheels will be in motion. This ain't going to happen before next season. It won't happen. I would say the most aggressive timeline is 18 to 24 months on this.
For it to fully transition.
Yeah. We'll know who it's going to be probably by the beginning of the season.
I think it probably goes into the spring, kind of like with the Celtics.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well,
we knew who was buying it.
There was two different guys it was down to two groups in the very end.
Yeah.
Both local, but
yeah. But this is gonna move fast with all the names that are gonna be thrown out there.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Phil Knight will be involved in some capacity. A group attached to him. He's 87 years old.
Yeah.
Still doing well, moving around, going around, traveling, but it's going to be him and like Alan Sminsky was the guy who was his partner a couple of years ago. I don't know if that is still going to be the case. Hell, Phil Knight may just say, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But he did mention it was part of his civic duty the last time, right? And then the Albina project popped up right after that. But in a new owner, what are you looking for?
More money than God.
That's it?
I want my owner to have more money than God.
Mm.
I want them to care. I want them to be invested, but I don't want them to be too invested. And that's the problem, is that more often than not, the people who have the necessary money to do this think they know the right way to do it, and more often than not, they come in and they faceplant. Up and down the board. Doesn't matter what sport it is. How many new owners have come in and just nailed it?
They've tried.
Commanders did.
Commanders.
But the bar was so freaking low.
Yeah, but they've
nailed it, though.
Man. They've cleared it by miles. No matter who buys this team is going to have that more money than God.
Yeah.
The days of the Brown family, which owns the Bengals, owning a team, or the Davis family owning the Raiders, those are long gone. The money is going to be there. I want somebody that cares about winning and cares about basketball to be the owner.
Yep.
Because they will all have money. The worst thing that you can have as an owner is somebody who looks at it as an investment portfolio tab.
Yep.
And that scares me because Paul Allen cared. And at times, about the middle stage of his ownership, he cared too much.
Yeah.
He cared too much about the team, and he meddled a lot, Ha-Sung Jin. And got in, and then he finally backed away once he saw, hey, the Seahawks, they're playing for a Super Bowl, and I am on the periphery here, but I own this team. And he started to let the front office be
basketball people.
Front office people. And so that, to me, is the most important thing. Because if you get an owner who just is, this is part of my portfolio, I own the team, whatever, I don't care if they win or lose, just show me the check and is the value going up, that would suck.
Yes, and that's the scary proposition, is that, for the most part, the people with that money, that's what their mindset is. And that's why I want somebody, if they're not going to be local, I want somebody at least from the West Coast that understands sports out here, that understands the implication of the Trailblazers out here, that knows the market. Because if you get somebody from outside the market who doesn't understand basketball or doesn't understand the region and the ties that the fan base have to the region, that it can crater very quickly. Very quickly. And that's what scares me. And people can say what they want about Jody Allen, the estate, and all this stuff, and she's terrible, blah, 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 blah. She at least understands that part of it. They have spent money. They have invested in the team. Is it the best? No. Is it the worst? Hell no. And this is not the devil that you know situation for me, but I am leery of somebody coming in with a crap ton of VC money and going, we're going to do this the way we do things in Silicon Valley, and go, we're going to do it in a manner that does not work in sports. And you've seen it happen time after time after time.
I want a Ballmer hell, I want an Ishbia because you can say what you want about Ishbia. Ishbia's tried. And you know what?
I don't want that. I don't want an Ishbia.
I want Ishbia's taking care of the fans.
Yeah, that part of it is great.
Whether it's their TV deal going over the air, whether it is $2 concessions, whether it is making big swings and putting them on the table and saying, yeah, we're going to try, and it backfires, and sometimes it does.
And it might have them in the gutter for 10 years now.
But I want an owner who cares about basketball.
Yeah.
Because I would rather have that, and we can all get pissed off that the moves didn't work, than apathy setting in because nobody's ever going to try.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we going to do here? Like that, those are the things that I think matter in an owner. And you see it with Josh Harrison in Washington, and there's horror stories, but there's success stories too. And it is not working for Josh Harrison in Philadelphia because he owns the 76ers too. And they take big swings, but they care. And that's what I care about in this. Take care of the fans and really care about the product that is being put out there.
Yeah, no, I in that vein, I agree with you. And look, I'm being picky. I know I am, but that's the whole point. Is like everything that comes along with this. I want an owner that does care, and I want an owner that probably cares too much. But I want an owner that understands basketball, and to let basketball people make basketball decisions, because you've got, everyone talks about Ishbia. The basketball decisions that were made in Dallas were made absent-mindedly of ownership because they have no understanding of basketball.
My fever dream is Mark Cuban is so pissed off at Nico Harrison
That he comes back and
that
buys the
he's
Blazers.
just like, Dirk, let's relocate. Our new favorite team's Portland. And he comes and buys the team. Now that's my I want a unicorn. Give me that unicorn.
I mean,
but I hope he is pissed off to that point that he goes and does it. Final answer.
I would not be against Mark Cuban getting the deal.
Well, yeah, obviously. And that would we'd all of a sudden have a built-in rival, and it'd be the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Has anybody ever owned two teams in the same sport?
No, he can't. He would have to fully divest from
because he still
the
owns
Mavericks.
like 21% of the Mavericks.
But
like
do
that.
it. You know what? Sell that 20% and come up to Portland. Huh? He's loved it here. He raves about Portland every time he comes here. I doubt he wants to own a team here, but I'd love it.
Do it.
That's what I want.
Okay, my wheels are spinning now a little too fast.
I know that I knew that was dangerous. I knew I shouldn't have done it because now your tinfoil hat is securely strapped to your head.
Oh, buddy, he's been on for 24 hours now.
He was the first guy that I thought of because it was like
it's-
you want owners that care, and he is like he embodies
And
that.
the likelihood of whoever buys the team probably whoever comes in, it'll be a group. There will probably be somebody who divests from ownership from somewhere else.
Yeah.
To buy into this team.
Yeah. All right. 503-864-6326, the fan text line. New ownership needs to be a fan of the game, not just an investor. Paul Allen, check this box. Yeah. Sometimes a little bit too much. Whoever the new owners, they'll be a-holes because there are no good people at that level of billionaires eligible to buy a sports team. You're replacing one a-hole with another. Wow. Okay. All right. We got that going for us, which is nice. Money, passion, and an ability to let the front office work without being micromanaged.
Yeah. Look,
It sounds like, did you text that?
Yeah. No,
Did you just text that in?
Nope, not me.
You just text that
Whoever
in?
that is,
You just text that in? I think that was you.
that's a very smart individual.
I think that is you.
Mm.
This is a nerve-wracking time for Blazer fans. It's an exciting time as well. The Blazers are for sale. We don't know how quick this is going to move. We don't know the names that are going to be at play. This will be changing. It's going to be a landscape that changes very, very quickly. There are a lot of people that want to in on the ownership of professional sports. These opportunities, they don't come very often. And it may not seem like that, but
they don't. And
it's true.
At that scale, it just doesn't happen.
There's only 30 NBA teams right now.
About to be 32. But even then,
Even that those are set pushed off to the side.
Nobody wants to sell.
Yeah. No.
Because they just keep gaining valuation. They keep gaining money.
And that's the scary part, though,
Like
is
Paul
that
Allen bought the team, wasn't it $300 million?
I think it was less than that.
I thought it was like in the 100s.
Yeah.
Like 115.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking a little bit later. I
I
know A-Team sold for $300 million.
Yeah, no, he bought it for $70 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So the estate's going to take a $70 million sale and turn it into a $4 billion sale.
Yeah. Somebody's going to try to spin it as they lost some money.
I don't think you could lose. I don't think
you
the
can.
math could math in, like you would have to lose hundreds of millions of dollars a year
All right.
in order for that to happen. That's insane.
But that's the scary part, though, is that what you just outlined also brings out the people who don't care about sports and just say there's money to be made in sports.